This episode of Now This Is Lit is brought to you by Audible. Check the link in the description to get your first Star Wars audiobook free. Everyone loves free things. Click that link. Do it. This show is also brought to you by our patrons. If you want to support the show in a different way, with just $1 a month, you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/StarWarsLitPod. You can get a sticker. You can get access to an exclusive show that we do every month that's wild and chaotic and fun and something you can only get by becoming a member of the Patreon. There'll be so many more perks very, very soon. But for now, do you want a sticker? Do you want a sticker that has a Now This Is Lit logo? Because it's fantastic and I love them. But I also want to give them away because there's just a stack of stickers on my desk. So if you want one, $1 a month. Patreon.com/StarWarsLitPod. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. You're listening to Now This Is Lit, a podcast about Star Wars books, the people who make them, and the readers who just can't get enough of them. I'm your host, Meg Dowell. I use she, her pronouns. What you're about to hear is a recording, audio only, of a live stream that we did exclusively for the paid members of the NTIL community. And this is the stream where we announced the Star Wars Books Info website, which you may have heard about, and if you haven't, this might be your first time hearing about it. This is an audio replay of the live stream, so we're going to be describing things that you obviously can't see because it's an audio podcast episode. If you want to see the video, you can go to Patreon. It'll be there. Or you can go to the actual website that we're going to be talking about, which is starwarsbooks.info, and follow along and see what we're talking about. We also played a game in the stream, so you'll get some of that too. If you want access to more streams like this, you can join the community. It's super fun. There are many other perks besides that. But anyway, here's a replay of the stream. Hey,
all right, we're there.
it worked. What a great start.
Yeah.
What a great start to the evening. I was caught off guard because I was expecting there to be a delay over here on this other monitor, and there was not.
I think there was a little bit of a delay.
Oh, was there?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, look, our third co-host is here.
Hey, puppy.
Do you want to say hi? You could come around. You're going to stay? Okay. You don't really understand how anything works. It's okay. Welcome. This is going to be a really exciting evening. Not the entire evening, just a little while. We'll give more people minutes to show up. I'm holding my microphone because currently this is the only way that it's going to work. Are you going to make me pet you this entire time? You at least got to let the people look at you if you're going to be here. I'm super excited for all the things. We got a few things to go over.
Yeah, we do.
We'll start with like the little tiny announcement that's still fun but not as cool, and then the big reveal that's very cool.
Yeah, it is.
And then with the time we have left over, play some conversation cards since we don't have hunters to play anymore.
No.
So disappointing. What are you gonna do? Hello everyone who's here. Say hi in the chat. I'm trying to figure out which screen to look at. It's very
The chat is here.
It's over there, so I only have to look over here.
Exactly.
That's very exciting. We're trying a streaming platform that's not what I was using before because it crashed every time I tried to use it. It's fine. I hope everyone's doing well and enjoying all the Star Wars reading. If you haven't started reading Master of Evil yet, I hope that you get to do that soon and that you enjoy it. It's very good. Today you also read, what's it called?
I read Path of the Lightsaber.
The new manga that came out this week also, and you said it was very good.
It's very good. Do not sleep on Path of the Lightsaber.
I'm very good. Like, you usually don't get to things before me.
Yeah.
I was reading something else. I can't wait. Like it was very fun to open, even though Amazon sent me a damaged copy and I didn't know it until you were reading it and you were like, why are there pieces of a page missing?
Yeah, like 2-3 pages. I mean, just corner was just all torn out.
You know, that's what happens when you buy things from major corporations run by billionaires. Yeah, should we? Well, let's get to the first thing first, because like I'm gonna like re-announce this anyway. So if you miss it, you're also gonna be able to watch this back later. If you click on the link later, the actual like playback of the video should be there. If you're not able to watch the whole thing or any of it, but the first thing that we're gonna talk about is how you, our patrons, our community members, can for the first time participate in our book awards, which are of course happening next month in December, because somehow it's almost already end of year. Where does time go? I don't know. It disappears. I wanted to figure out a way for all of you to participate, but I also wanted to make it the least amount of chaos as possible for this first time around while we're still figuring things out. So you came up with an idea for how all of our friends can participate. You want to talk a little bit about what that's going to look like? It's not set up yet, but it will be soon.
Yeah. So, as this year, as we do at the end of every single year, we're going to have our book awards episode, which I'm really excited about. I'm extra excited about this year because we're going to have some expanded categories after several years of talking about it and bemoaning the fact that we wouldn't have it. We're finally going to have some comics categories.
Because we read the comics this year.
Because we actually kept up with comics, which is something we have never done any other year that we have been doing the awards episodes. And so every time when we get around to book awards, we have to be like, we love you comics, but we don't know anything. So we can't really award any of you. But this year, we were actually both really diligent about keeping up with all the mini series and runs and one-offs that have been coming out this year. And so finally, we are going to be have some comics categories, which is going to be really good. And it's a good year because there's a lot of good comics.
It's going to be hard, I think, for me to even pick like a best comic.
Yeah. So we're going to have that. So that's going to be really cool. But the way that we're going to get all of you involved in the Patreon is we're going to have a special patron category that folks can sort of vote on and contribute to. So what we're going to do is, in addition to all the categories that we're going to have and we're going to give our picks for, we're going to have a special patron category for best Star Wars moment of the year. So each of you is going to be able to sort of chime in with something. And this can be, it doesn't have to be, it's not exclusive of books only. So you can really do anything throughout the year. The TV shows, we didn't really have any movies, so I guess no movies. But like pretty much anything that has sort of happened in Star Wars, you're going to be able to offer up your personal picks, and then we're going to shout those out and talk about them on the show.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, you can do book things. That's totally on board. But if you want to do something from what have we had this year? We've had Visions. We had Skeleton Crew, technically.
Andor.
We've had Andor, anything like that.
There's been a lot.
There's been a lot this year. If you want to do something from the Lego show, whatever it is, you're going to be able to pick that. And so I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it'll be fun to kind of like go through all of your picks, and that way you can you can participate a little bit more in the voting, because I'd love for you to be able to vote on every category, but we're a 2-person team. It will be a lot at the moment. But this will be a good way for for a first year of all of you getting to participate. And I can't wait to see what you pick, because like you'll probably think of things and I'm like, oh yeah, that happened this year, because that always happens. So
yes.
Really looking forward to that. So more on that will be coming as soon as possible to give you time to think about it. We'll give you a deadline for when we're going to record the book awards episode, so you can have those in by then. So within, I'll just say soon, I'll have all the info and like where you can leave your things. So stay tuned for that.
All right,
Yay.
cool. Should we get to the main event now?
Are we ready?
I think I am. Are you?
I'm kind of scared. I'm a little bit scared. This has been okay. So if we're being technical, this is a project that we've been working on for over a year, even though it hasn't been that long for reasons I probably don't need to get into. Listen, maybe I'll tell you more when we actually reveal what we're talking about.
Do you want to do it? It is your baby. I mean, like you're ready.
I don't know. Am I ready?
You gotta do it.
I can't believe it's
finally here. The people are waiting.
Oh my god. All right. So I'm gonna tell you. This is so exciting.
It is.
I'm less scared now. I'm more excited.
There you go. Fight the fear.
I thought I had a really good like Star Wars comeback for that, and it's too late in the day for that. Okay, so something I've been wanting to do for a long time. You know, as a Star Wars book lover, as someone who likes to know things about Star Wars books, as someone who's always wanted a place where information about Star Wars books is not only very easy to find, but is all in one place, and that's the only thing that is in that place where you find these things. We built a website.
Yeah, we did.
We built a whole website. It's not done yet. We're going to show you. We're going to show you some stuff.
I mean, it's pretty. There's a lot.
As in, we're going to be adding more.
So. Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be a work in progress.
It's a living. I almost said living document.
I mean, in a way, it's a living document.
Okay, so what we've done is we have built a Star Wars books database, basically, website. You know, other things like this exist on the internet. I'm not trying to be like the first one to do it because that wouldn't be true. I'm not even saying ours is the coolest, even though I think like it could be eventually as we work on it more. But what we have done so far is we have built this website to include every single canon book that currently exists. Every single book has a page. You'll see. We'll show you in a second.
Yeah.
Eventually there will be more, as in legends.
Not for a minute,
but there will
do legends.
Eventually, I would love to this wealth of information to include everything, because I believe all Star Wars books matter. So comics, reference books. I would love to have some kind of reference for books about Star Wars that are not official.
Sorry, the comment that just got dropped in. So we actually got two comments. So one is, will there be sound bites of Devore reading the synopsis to the reader, and then right after, I'm going to have to read the publisher summary for all of them.
Okay, so now when we go to a book page, you're gonna have to read the publisher summary, right? That's what the people want. So we find a page with the longest publisher summary, because the publisher summaries are on there. We did do some copying and pasting.
Oh God, yeah, we did, didn't we? They're all on there.
You want to know how I know? Because they're all in this stupid spreadsheet. Okay, so while you're kind of like navigating to a page, I can talk a little bit about some background on this. So over a year ago, I had this idea, and I've had this idea for a while. Again, other sites like this exist. I'm very aware of that for reasons I'm not going to get into. But I don't like how a lot of them are set up. I think a lot of them are cluttered. There's hard to find things, all of that. But also, like, back when we were all talking about like we need an alternative to the book, specifically I thought about books, and I was like, what if there's just a place you could go where all the book stuff is there? And that's it. Like, if you're specifically looking for how many pages are in this book, who wrote this book, When was this book published? What are all the books published in 2025? All the things are there. So over a year ago, I had this domain, and I was like, I'll get started on it. If you don't know and haven't been listening to my show for a while, but long story short, finally this summer, I was like, I'm going to get back to working on this, and then realized it was too much for me to do by myself. So what did I do? I recruited my built-in partner in crime for everything, who turns out to be so much better at doing all of this shit than me. Because without you, I never would have been able to do it. You've done most of this work, so I'm going to let you, once you pull it up, do all the talking about the things, that I can just sit here and be amazed, as always. But the fun part of that story is that when we were both in this spreadsheet that we've made working on it, it was fun to see your little icon, to be like, you're working on it too. It's so cool. Anyway. All right. Should we reveal the thing?
All right. Let us take you to the website. So we'll show it to you, walk you through everything you can find there. And then obviously it's public, it's live, so you can go to the URL and explore it yourself. But
and please do that.
Yes,
I would
please
love that.
do that. Tell your friends about it, etc. All right, let's do this.
If we hit all the right buttons.
Now we're gonna hit the right buttons. All right, and
are they seeing it? I'm waiting for
let's see. All right,
there's a little bit of a delay on the other screen. We just want to make sure that you can see it. How about leave a comment if you can see the page?
There we go. Okay, I had to go back in and add it to the stage. That's a really weird way to do it.
Oh my god, I see it. Okay, the delay is actually not that much. Look at it. Look at it.
All right, so this is it. It's not actually showing the URL in the screen capture because it's just literally just doing the web page and not like the whole browser.
Are we able to paste it in the comments?
I can do that
real quick.
Let's see.
Maybe just so you can go to it and look at it yourself as we're talking about it if you want.
It's posted. There it is. All right.
There we go. Now you can go there.
All right.
Oh my god.
So let's do a little walkthrough here on the website. So you are here at starwarsbooks.info.
Listen. You got to put all your SEO knowledge, if you have to learn it for your job/career. You got to put it somewhere.
All right. So let's walk through this bad boy and see all the things. So here we are on the home page.
It's so big on this screen.
It's so big because we're doing this on my giant. It's a little bit more like, I guess, compressed or condensed. Like when I look at it on my laptop, like the eras here are a little bit more stretched out across the page. But in this, it looks like
it looks really good on mobile. I will say that.
Yes, yeah, and that's part of the reason why it was this, because it was on when it was all like one string on mobile. It ended up being like off the page. So you have to just kind of you got to do your best through all the different modes. But anyway, I'm going to walk through this. So here, starting with the home page. So the home page is a couple of things. We got we'll talk about search, and we'll talk about book timeline here in a little bit. But here on the homepage, you've got the eras of Star Wars here. So these are all of the books, all the canon books on the website are grouped. They're grouped in a lot of different taxonomies, and we'll talk about the tags and all of that. But one of them is by eras, and so we have everything sorted into the official Star Wars eras that I think they announced. I think it was not last. No, last year there wasn't a celebration. I think it was the year before. I think it was at London. Whenever that was, they unveiled that timeline.
Yes.
And it had all the official eras. So we have them all here, including the ones for which there are currently no canon books. They are here represented. They are just not hyperlinked. So someday we'll get some Dawn of the Jedi, Old Republic, New Jedi Order stuff.
Maybe.
But for now, there's nothing. So you've got... So in all of these, for the ones that are hyped, what you can do is you can click into, so let's say if I click High Republic, you can click into, and then you can find a list of all of the High Republic books.
It's all there
that are on
for
the website, and then
you.
all of these obviously are hyperlinked, and you can go to the pages for those books. So that's what you got here in the Ears of Star Wars. So you got a quick, easy way if you want to get to a High Republic book, a Reign of the Empire book, whatever it is. There's another way to get to that too, and we'll show it when we're on an actual book page. And then we have down here, we got the list of upcoming books. So you'll get to see here, and we'll obviously update it as new books are announced and as we get specific dates. But so right now we have the 4 here that we currently have announced. We got Outlaws, Legacy, Eyes Like Stars, and the very low res quality of the Edge of the Abyss. It was really hard to find a stand-in cover that they did it, whatever was New York Comic Con or whenever.
We'll get one. We'll get one eventually.
Yeah. So that will just be sort of continuously updated as as there's new information and what have you. All right. So let's now go into looking at the book pages and the information available there.
This is the cool part.
And then, of course, we're going to be able to get to get to what this guy is doing up here. So let's take a look at a book page. So we're going to look up for, this is on top of mine because I'm currently reading it. Let's say I want to look up The Last Order. So I'm just going to go in my search. I could obviously do it. I could go into it's under Rise of the First Order. I could go here, but let's just do it through the search to see how the search works. So Last Order. I hit search. All right. So here it's going to pop up books that have these words in them. So obviously you have The Last Order at the top, which is the one I want. But then, here you've got probably because Last Jedi is in here, Last Shot, what have you. But we're going to go to The Last Order because that's the book we want. So you're going to have, obviously, the little preview here. You're going to have the nice little picture here. All right, so I'm here on the website. I wanted to look up information about The Last Order. I searched. All right, I'm going to go in The Last Order. So here we are on the page, and pretty much all of the pages are structured more or less the same way here. So you've got up at the top here, you've got all your basics, your author, when it was published, publisher, pages, timeline, so where it falls in terms of the date. Some of them are a little bit sort of trickier because it'll be like main story is in this year and then flashbacks are in this other year. And so usually when that happens, you're like, okay, when is most of the book happening? There's actually The Last Order is a great example of that. Because you have the sort of the present day story, and then you have some flashbacking happening. So, and then of course the associated era underneath here at the top, you can see there'll be links to purchase the book. So you got a link to Amazon and a link to bookshop.org, depending on what entity or entities you would like to support. These are affiliate links, so if you use these, we get some money, baby. Well, technically you get some money.
All our money is the same.
Yes, all our money is the same. And then we have the publisher summary right down here. I think because it's been called out in the comments. Following the end of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, the Resistance rescues a ship full of young passengers who had been kidnapped by the First Order. As Finn and Janna set out to find the First Order officer responsible before he can endanger any more children, the 2 former stormtroopers must wrestle with their own complicated past as soldiers of the oppressive regime. There we go. Excellent. We got the publisher's summary. And then you've got a little quick summary. So these are all custom. These are ones that you did. Mm-hmm. That just is, a sort of brief little nugget about what the book is about beyond the publisher summary. Then down here, you've got book details. We got broken down. Some of it is, repeating some of the stuff at the top in terms of like author and publisher and date. But then you also got like audience. So you've got, young adult, middle grade, adult, young reader, things like that. Some other basic publication information, pages, and so on. Then you've got, as you move further down, you've got the categories here. So now this is something that I'm particularly excited about that we did for this, because this sort of really enhances kind of the functionality of the website. So you've got a bunch of tags that you're going to find on all of these pages. And right now we have sort of a sort of limited, but actually still fairly robust selection of tags. So we've got right now we've got a canon tag, which I mean, everything on here is canon, but is going to be a little bit more salient once we start getting legends on here. But then you've got the audience tag is repeated in here. You've got the main characters. You've got the authors. You got the era. You even have the year. And so this is going to help in terms of, and there's a couple things on here in terms of helping people find other content and information throughout the website. So for example, you get down here, and so for example, you have the publication year tags here. Oh, okay, 2025. What other Star Wars books are published in 2025? Well, I click the 2025 tag, and I'm brought right to all the books that were published in 2025. And they're all right here.
You did that today.
I just added that today to all the pages. So you can do that. Or if you're like, okay, I want to see other books that Finn is in. So I'm going to click the Finn tag, and it's going to take me to all the pages where Finn is tagged, or at least he's tagged as a key character. So that's what we sort of list. You know, in future iterations of the website, we might get a little broader in terms of getting sort of minor supporting characters or folks that are mentioned. But right now we sort of have these key characters listed on here. And again, if you want to click that, you want to find where Finn is, you can do that with the character tag. And then similarly, I mentioned how there's sort of different ways to get to the eras. You have the eras pages that are on the home page, but you can also go into the category tags like, okay, Rise of the First Order. What are the other Rise of the First Order books? And then you can click on the tag, and then it will populate that. Or you also have the audience tags. You're like, oh, okay, I read this young adult book and really enjoyed it. What are some other Star Wars YA books? Well, you click the YA tag, and it's going to take you to a bunch of Star Wars YA books that are on the website. So different ways to find different information based on what you might want, whether it is you want books by a particular character, you want books by a particular author. Kwame Mbalia, what else has he published? Like, he's got 2. Some of them look, you cat, Scott. You have a really book. I think he has the longest.
It's a lot.
I think he has the longest. Justina also has a lot. She might be a close second. It's like,
Yeah.
It's Kevin, Justina, and I think George Mann, I think are up there in terms of their bibliographies.
Well, Charles Soule, if you count all the comics,
yes,
might also have a lot.
Yeah. He would also have one. Well, yeah, once we get to comics, he's going to be on there too. So you've got that stuff. And so then you've got 2 other sections. So one of the things that we've been thinking about, and obviously we'll continue to sort of refine this and add to this as the website, because it's a living repository, you know, is like we try to think about what are things that we could add to this website that would be sort of a value add that folks may not be able to necessarily find elsewhere, right? As you mentioned, right, this is not the first Star Wars books website, but it's like, what can we do that to maybe potentially add a little bit of like more information or functionality or user friendliness? And so we have got a couple of things. So each one will have a section on books by this author. So we'll have a little section here that will list off all the other things written by this particular author. And in case of Kwame Mbalia, it is his story, in fact, Power of Return of the Jedi, and we got Last Order. But obviously some, looking at you, Kevin Scott, will have much longer lists. So they have, and again, right, you got 2 ways. You can do it on the tags. You can just click there if you want to, or you can do books by this author, and you can see you can see the stuff listed right there. So you read this book, or you read another, you're like, wow, I really like Claudia Gray. I want to read more Claudia Gray Star Wars books. When you just scroll to the bottom of the page, and then there's all the Claudia Gray Star Wars books, however it is. And then the other thing that we have added in at the bottom is we have the comps.
You're so excited about that.
I'm so excited about the comps. Yes, because I sort of got inspired a little. The inspiration of this was sort of Amazon, like the way that they do it when you go on the products page and they're like users who bought this item also bought whatever, you know, and then they list a bunch of things. And so I thought this is something I really want to have, again, because it's going to have that little bit of sort of a personalized touch where, again, you may not necessarily find it on another book repository. So if you read a particular book and you're like, okay, I really like this story or whatever, we're going to give in on every single one of these pages has, and it varies from book to book, but it's usually about, I sort of strived at least 2 to 3 per per book page, will have some recommended titles. So essentially, as it says, if you like this book, you'll also like. And so here under Last Order, we've got the Rise of Skywalker novelization. We have the Finn and Poe adventure, Choose Your Destiny. And we have For Awakening, which is the TFA prequel. And then, yeah, it's those that are in this. A couple of the other ones have more options. Again, it really just depends on the book and the number of comparable titles. And again, obviously, this is, reiterate, living repository. Things will get added as new books get published. Things will get put on there. So that will be, again, another way to direct folks to other parts of the website, direct them to help them discover books that they may not know exist. In the process of putting this together, I found out about a lot of books that I didn't know existed, particularly in sort of that younger audience level, that sort of middle grade and young reader. But again, that will be useful in terms of like, oh, somebody has read this book and they're like, oh, okay, like I want to get some more like Finn stories or like First Order-y stories. What are some things that I can put on there? So you'll have the comps there as a tool that you can use for some recommended books. So that's pretty much how the book pages are all structured. Again, more or less all the same way. So then we're going to go to a few things. Let's go to the one we teased up here. Again, another favorite baby of mine that was very much a labor of love. But again, I wanted something, and to think about like something that could be like give users something a little bit like unique and different. We have, drum roll please, the canon book timeline. So this is every Star Wars book that is on this website in canon order.
Oh, you updated it or changed it? It looks different from the last time I looked at it. And maybe not.
No, again, that might be the iMac resolution screwing with you, but it is pretty much the same. Yeah, so this is everything in sort of official in-universe year order. Again, some of these, like you can see with Tales of Light and Life, some of them are spanning, but good enough. So you have here all of them in order, and as you see, as you scroll down, right, it pops up here, and pretty much the website, the timeline is built essentially on a kind of continuous scroll, so that I'm not going to sit here and waste your time, but if you scroll all the way down, you get to, hey, look, the Last Order, we just talked about you, right, the very last entry, and then everything in between is all set up here by their canon dates, and then all of these are hyperlinked. So you're scrolling now like, ooh, Force Collector. I'm going to click that. That might not actually show up because I don't know if it's actually screen sharing that, but it opened in a new tab.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, so I don't. They're not going to see it because it's only sharing this web page as opposed to like my whole computer screen. But trust me when I say that it did open. You can see you have the URL.
Yeah,
you can
there you go.
You can verify. So that's all here, and you got a little like snapshot. You got like the cover page and the book cover. And written by, but you have pretty much everything here in canon timeline order. And we were actually talking about earlier today, and we'll probably do this again as an addition. We'll probably also create a second timeline page. There's going to be the books by real world publication order. And so it's going to essentially have the same sort of setup. Hold on, we're almost at the top. But if you actually want to see like 2015 to 2025, everything in order that way. So we'll have that. And so what you can see up here is you can do a little bit more sorting. So it sort of defaults, it defaults into all, as you saw, right? Just the giant continuous scroll all the way from High Republic down to, post Rise of Skywalker. But then if you want to narrow in and you want to look at a particular part of the timeline. So you're like, okay, I want to look at, I don't know, I'm going to pick, let's say, New Republic books. The timeline will be able to just kind of suck into those, and then you can look at, here you go, Princess and the Scoundrel, and then all the way up to Bloodline. So you can do a little bit more narrow search if you don't want to do the giant scroll. If you're just looking for books in a particular era, and then obviously you can always go back to all, and you can see the whole all. So we've got that. Again, that's a pretty cool tool to have it there. And then I guess the only other thing to point out at the moment just as a little back end thing, because again, we talked about this as the living repository, is you'll see on the footer on each page here, we have, in addition to the website and all this, we have this nice little report and issue button. So you can click here and it's going to take you to this form. So basically we wanted to sort of, because it's a big website and there's a lot of pages and there's a lot of moving parts to all of this with all the links and, you know, all the information, like we wanted to sort of create sort of this essentially like a crowdsource option to sort of have the users help us, like, give them a better experience. And so this, you know, this form exists for that. So like if you're on the website and then you encounter any issue, you know, I put some examples here, but anything like that, like you click on a link and it's a broken link, you go somewhere and it's like, oh, that's not the cover art for that book, or anything like that, or like that's not the right author listed there. Then you can sort of just fill this out and you type it in and you're like, hey, on the last order page, you said Darth Vader is in this book and he's not in this book, you know, and you just send that off and then we can, you know, go in and correct it. I don't know, actually. I'm assuming he's not. I haven't gotten through the book, but I'm assuming he is not in the book. But so that's essentially the website as it exists right now. You know, and as we've sort of talked about here, we're going to keep building on, obviously, as books come out. We're going to add books. We're going to add more functionality and tools. We're going to, in particular, you know, we're put in that timeline that we were, you know, additional timelines as we were talking about them. Flush out. I want to flush out the tag system a little bit more, again, to give some of that more information. In particular, I'm thinking about doing genre tags.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, I think which would be really useful to like help people find, like, oh, what's a Star Wars, I don't know, mystery novel? Like, what are all of those? They just have to think about how to do them, because there's some that are really obvious. So you have like Lost Stars. You're like, okay, romance. You tag it that way. But then there's other ones where you're like, okay, what exactly genre wise is it going to fall in? But that's just, we're going to require a little bit of thought and iterating. And then we'll be able to have that. But even in the website, it still has a lot of different functionalities and is able to get you to a lot of different information. And so, yeah, hopefully will be a kind of, as you said, sort of like a clean, straightforward repository if you're looking for certain kinds of information about these books.
Yeah, this is exciting. There's a lot more work to be done, but we've done a lot.
Yes.
And it feels good to start to put it out into the world. And we hope you like it. And if you have any questions about it or suggestions for things we could add, or that you like in a website like this, and in a, you know, it's meant to be a resource for anyone who's looking up anything about a Star Wars book. So any info, any categories, anything that we don't currently have that you know of, that you're like, I want this. Yeah, let us know that. You know, doesn't have to be now, me later. Play around with it, think about it for a while. Because there's only two of us, and like there's bound to be plenty of things we haven't thought of, or things that we just haven't gotten to yet. So we'd love to know. This is cool.
It is really cool.
It's cool. I'm glad that it for now, the work on it, we can have a little bit of a break.
Yes.
Next year we'll add more stuff.
Yes. We'll embark on the Grand Legends project.
Oh, it's gonna take I'm gonna have to write so many quick summaries.
Yes. We should have pulled it up just to be able to show people like the behind the scenes of this.
It's such a big.
I wonder if I can do it real quick. Let me see. I'm gonna try to do it on this other monitor here, and then maybe screen share. Let's see. Oh, it's right here. Okay.
Because you opened it so many times, you spent so much time in the spreadsheet.
All right. Let me see if I can screen share that.
You should be able to. Maybe.
Let's see. Yeah. All right, hold on. I can probably let me stop sharing and then I'll reshare.
There we are again. My God.
I mean, we've been there the whole time, but let's see. There it is. Okay, we're gonna share this guy, and so there you
have to add him to the.
Oh, then I have to add him. Oh my God, this is such a weird way to do it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this
is. God.
So this
giving me flashbacks.
Yeah, this is basically like the guts of the website as it existed, was this giant spreadsheet. that we worked on together. I scrolled way too far down. Okay. And it basically has more or less all the same information here as far as the author and the comps and the key characters and all that. And so we sort of collectively kind of fill this. Oh my God, what am I doing?
I have no idea.
There we go. Okay, we're back. And so we just kind of collectively, like Meg and I, just like kind of we were sort of tag teaming on the spreadsheet, doing different parts of it, and just kind of filling it in. And yeah. And so basically the whole process was kind of translating, this stuff in the spreadsheet on the back end into the back end of WordPress to create all of the pages.
It was a lot of work. I wrote so many quick summaries.
We're getting some praise for our spreadsheets. I like that. As a newly minted Excel associate,
Tell everyone your biggest accomplishment of the day.
Biggest accomplishment of the day, getting my Excel certification at work. I'm leaning out of the camera. I just noticed that. Okay, there we go. So yeah, that was really cool. And obviously this is Google Sheets, which is an inferior product. But
okay, some of us don't have jobs where they pay for Excel and all the other things. Okay,
I understand. But I was able to still, I did all the conditional formatting. So when you check the box, it became green. All that. Like, I figured it out. Still made the formulas. I got it all to work.
We're getting into the spreadsheet is cooler than the product.
Yeah, it is.
Territory.
We're doing like in the grand Star Wars tradition. We're doing like the behind the scenes, like in Star Wars fandom, we love the we love all the people doing the behind the scenes stuff.
You get what you pay for.
Exactly. Yeah. Like people are finding out about the work and about the spreadsheets. Like the spreadsheets are the the
what is happening
here. Sorry, I'm doing too much scrolling.
You're doing the thing where you talk with your hands.
Yeah, I'm doing that too. And you probably it's not even.
Oh, you have this
yeah. I'm also
I
have the mouse. That's what I'm doing here.
No, I know, but it's not a normal. Whatever.
Yeah, I have the bad Apple mouse. But yeah, so that's sort of the behind the scenes of what it looked like. So that was.
And then we made it into a website.
And then
paying for the domain mattered.
Yeah. Well, it was the domain transfer that screwed us.
I don't want to talk about that.
Because you didn't buy it on WordPress, and so we had to import it. And that turns out to be a pain in the butt.
I didn't know.
But now we're building in the WordPress. You just buy the domain in WordPress.
Speaking of, I hope I have the right card linked to that account. Anyway, we don't have to worry about that until August.
Yeah.
Oh, our third co-host is not impressed. Not impressed at all.
Here,
no.
I thought she.
No, she's been here the whole time. She's not impressed. She's passed out.
Well, that's because she's a Toxic Legends fan, and we're talking.
There aren't any legends on it.
Yeah, she'll be a lot more excited next year when we have legends on the website. I'm sure she'll be super into it. This is blocking my face. There we go.
You want to talk about some legends? I thought she'd wake up.
No,
she's had a very long day.
Yeah,
it's a very long day. It's hard to be a dog sometimes.
It is.
Anyway, I'm glad. I'm from the number of comments, from what I can see from here.
Yes,
it looks like we've done a good thing.
Yes, we have. I'm very happy about that. I was very excited to unveil this.
Yay! You did such a good job. I mean, like we both did things, but technically created the original template for the book pages.
Yes, you did.
You put most of them together. You did a great job. It looks so much better. Like I could have done this all myself. It would have taken like 10 years, and it would not have looked as cool.
There was a lot of learning by doing of WordPress plugins and.
See, I never would have bothered with any of that. I would have just been like, I can do it all manually.
Let's see. We got a question. Did you guys build out the recommendations? Yeah. So that was all. I mean, it was pretty much me, I think, was doing all the comms.
Yeah, I mean, I think you asked my opinion on something.
Yeah, because there was. I'm trying to remember. There was one in particular. Oh, the one I was struggling with. It was Ahsoka. It was Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Because that was like the last one.
Yeah.
That I had that I didn't have comps for, and I'm like, because it's like, well, there's not all like other books where she shows
What
up.
did I say? I suggested
I think it's just a New Dawn.
A New Dawn. Yeah, because it's kind of like, not the same thing, but
yeah. And then I ended up doing with like a New Dawn, Battle Scars, like Ahsoka kind of trifecta there.
Oh, yeah, it's really good.
But yeah. So then, yeah, we just like I just went through like row by row on that spreadsheet, and like every single one coming up with the 2-3 books. And I'll probably think like I sort of for the purposes of unveiling kept to those, like for each of these, I thought I'd be like, oh, here's 3 more books I can add, and eventually I'll think about them and then I'll add.
Well, yeah, because like Star Wars books can be linked by theme, by location, time period.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a bunch of different ways you can do it. I also am leaning out of the frame. What am I doing? It's a very strange angle. You don't understand. You can't tell from watching this.
Yeah, and it's also like you have to think like opposite. Like you lean this way and it appears that way, right?
Yes.
There's a little bit of that element too. Like you're looking in a mirror essentially.
Yeah. So yeah, it's there's a lot of different like ways you can recommend. Like it's like if you like this, you like this.
Yeah.
But there's so many different ways to think about it. I get a little overwhelmed when I try to do that. So I'm glad you do a lot of that, because I'm like, but then because then I go, I'm like, oh, this book and then this book and then this book, and I want to recommend everything. That is the one downside of streaming here, is we don't get the bookshelf background. That's
no.
Someday we'll have a bigger house with a better setup.
Yeah.
Not today. Throw any other questions you have at us. And we can get started with some conversation cards.
Yeah, let's do a couple conversation cards to kind of close the stream out here.
Yeah, you can ask us anything. It's us in stream because Hunter's kind of left us.
All right, so we've got old Kelly Knox's conversation cards here. Shout out to Kelly Knox.
Love these. I would love like another edition of this. Like just more cards.
So we got 5 categories here that we can pick some cards from. So we've got the Force, we got creatures, we got the galaxy. Oh, we got Tom joining in here. Characters and technology. Let's answer that question before we pick a card. All right, let's see. What was the hardest book to either summarize / do the connections for? You mentioned the challenge of Ahsoka. Oh, I like this question. Let's see. Think about, because you did all the quick summaries essentially. So think about that first part of the question, which is the summarize.
So it's kind of like, so the quick summaries to me when I was writing them were like, what's a kind of combination of like what the publisher summary would say and what you would tell someone about a book in like one sentence, right? And the hardest thing about that is when you actually haven't read a book, because believe it or not, I haven't read every Star Wars canon book. There are a lot, like you mentioned earlier, there are a lot of like young reader books and stuff like that I just have not gotten to. Not that I don't want to read them, but I just, or it's been a while since I've read a book, right? So like I read the story to, refresh. I can kind of like try to remember the most important, like what's going to catch your eye about this book. But that's also really hard to do in like 1, 2, 3 sentences sometimes. It's challenging, but I really liked doing it. I just wish I hadn't had to do like 5 a day for like months. It felt like it wasn't that long, but it was a lot. Yeah, it's hard to, especially when you really like a book. How can you take that entire book down to 1 sentence and tell people what it's about? Because the other thing is like you are promoting the book and being like, read this. What can I tell you about it in 1 sentence? It's very hard.
Yeah.
But possible.
Yeah, and as far as the connections, I mentioned Ahsoka, but I think if you think about it like a broader category, I think the books that are like the one character book, I think are the harder ones to do comps for. I think within those, Ahsoka is the harder, but any one of these are essentially where the title is basically a character, like your Tarkin, Phasma, Glass Abyss, Mace Windu, because then a lot of times you're dealing with, it's like they're the main character of that book, And that's in a lot of cases, like that's the only book in which they are the character, like the your protagonist or whatever. So you take a book like Tarkin, and it's like, okay, he like pops up in Thrawn, but he, or like how many like books? I don't think Thrawn is actually a comp for Tarkin, but that's okay, that's fine. But it's like he might be a supporting character in a bunch of books, or like Phasma, she pops, she again, I'm only like a third of the way through Last Order, but she pops up in there a little bit.
There's some good Phasma stuff in Last
But
Order.
it's like so a lot of those books where you have the sort of center character like Mace Windu, and like he's in Living Force. He's part of the the 12 Angry Men or whatever. Like however many like characters are in that book. But yeah, like some of those are a little bit harder, and so then you have to go like you have to think a little bit more broadly, because you have like, again, like to use the I use the Last Order example. It's very easy for the comps to be like, okay, like let's put in another like Finn book, we can put some of those in, because it's like really straightforward. Like, okay, like Finn is the main character here, and he shows up in a bunch of places. But then you do something like a Tarkin, and you gotta think like, okay, well, there's not a lot of other books in which he's the main character. So then you think about it like, okay, time period. All right, let me do some early Empire stuff, and then I have what I put in Tarkin, because I keep using that example. So we're gonna scroll down here. I could go to the website, but I'm just gonna do it here in the spreadsheet. What did I put for Tarkin? Where are you, Tarkin? There you are.
Is it not alphabetical?
It's alphabetical. You just have to scroll for a little bit. Okay, I did Mask of Fear, Master of Evil. Okay, that's I did a good job. Or because like Darth Vader's there as a supporting character, so you throw in Darth Vader, Master of Evil. You do like time period Mask of Fear. I think you could even do Catalyst a little bit, but again, this is my point. Living repository. Like I'm going to think of books that I could put in there. But I think that's the sort of hardest bucket of books to find the comms for.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like, because you really have to like remember, like, okay, what are like the main themes? What kind of adventure are we going on, or what kind of journey? Or what other books deal with like found family? Or
yeah, Yeah, you got to think. All right, we got a question here that is actually something that I talked about, which is the question: are you considering linking Now This Is Lit episode to books with reviews, interviews? Yes, because I've talked about that.
Yes.
So the answer to that question is 100% we are going to do that.
Yeah, I would love every author to have like an actual page. And so that would be a good place to put like interviews with them, because then like if you want to hear more from them about certain books or things like that, that would be, or something like that. But yeah, eventually we'll link stuff. I was opposed to the idea for a while, but like there's no point in keeping separate if I have to. And plus, like, again, if you're gonna have what's supposed to be a database of all the possible info, these authors give me info that isn't anywhere else.
Yeah.
So especially with an interview coming up very soon. Yeah.
Oh, I just thought of another one that was hard to do comps for. Is like another one was Sanctuary. That one was hard because like literally the Bad Batch are in one book.
Well, also, hadn't you not read it yet when you were doing that?
I think I had read it. By that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sanctuary is hard. What did you end up doing for that one?
I think I definitely did. Oh my God, I never know. Stories of Light and Dark. I definitely did that, and I probably did there's probably a third. I may have done like Dark Disciple. I think I probably leaned into like Clone Wars verse and then put some of the Clone Wars stuff in there. I never, the anthologies one was like Blank of Blank and Blank, and I'm like Tales of something or other.
There's Stories of Light and Dark. There's Tales of Light and Life is
it's High Republic, and then Stories of Jedi and Sith.
Yes.
It's again Blank of Blank and Blank. There's a lot of that. There's also High Republic is the same way.
We love them.
All right, let's do again. Keep dropping questions in the chat. We'll do some conversation cards here, and then we'll answer some questions. All right, you got the 5 categories. You pick a category.
What are the categories?
The Force, creatures, the galaxy, characters, and technology.
Let's do the galaxy.
Okay, the galaxy.
Sorry, you kind of spaced out a little bit.
Sorry, I did the categories and then I started answering questions here and then we went back.
It's been a long week.
All right, galaxy. Which sport would you take from our planet to Star Wars? Ooh.
That is a really good question. Which sport? What's my favorite sport?
All right, we have pickleball in the comments.
Oh my God. You know how like you're asked a question, all of a sudden like you forget all of the sports that exist in the world?
Yeah. And we have some obviously some sport analogs in Star Wars. Right? Like you've got pod racing and like 5-year racing, so you've got some kind of like where it's like right animal racing or racing with machines. Right? We've got that. We've got whatever the heck is on in the club in Coruscant. In the background, there's like something where they're like it looked like vaguely soccer-esque, where they're like there's some animals or whatever, and they're carrying some sort of ball or whatever. There's like something on one of the TVs in there.
Facpov Attack of the Clones.
We're gonna. You know how many Facpov Attack of the Clone stories we're gonna get about like every freak in that bar? There's gonna be so many of them.
Sorry, that's really funny. Oh my God.
You know, I have one that would be kind of fun, just like given again, like try to think about like the Star Wars translation. You know, it'd be fun. Fencing.
But isn't fencing like lightsabers, but like not?
That's why it would be interesting, because it's lightsabers, but it's not. In the same way that fencing is not swinging at people with swords.
That is kind of fascinating, actually.
Wouldn't that be interesting? What does fencing look like in Star Wars?
Fencing is pretty cool.
Yeah.
I had a friend in high school who fenced. Fenced?
Yeah, fenced.
I didn't know if that was...
I think so, yeah.
Sure. Oh my God. So like I'm trying to think of like Olympic sports, which sometimes are a little bit more interesting. So like what if you had like I don't know if this actually exists in Star Wars. What if you had like snowboarding, but it's like sandboarding, like on Tatooine? Like there's a giant sand hill thing, and you're just like, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It could exist.
That could, yeah.
If it doesn't already, it might.
Yeah, and like imagine you're doing it on Tatooine, and like you're doing that, and then like the like four-armed like jacked thing from Book of Boba Fett just like pops out of the sand, and you gotta escape from it. Or
That's like one of the that's part of the sport.
Exactly, that's part of the sport. You gotta dodge whatever comes out of the sand.
It's like a live recording of the Nameless show.
Exactly, it's exactly what this is.
Except for me not cutting out all the times I have to stop because I'm laughing too hard. The dog is still dead. She's in the exact same position and hasn't moved. Listen, it's hard to be a dog with diabetes. Okay, she had to get poked a lot today.
Yeah,
she's fine. She's fine. She's just had a hard day. Sandboarding with an added twist.
Now this is sandboarding.
Listen to the latest episode of Now This Is Literally Anything, which is the stupidest name that will ever anything that I ever make will be titled. Should we pick another card?
Yeah, let's
unless we have other questions.
Not so far.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do another again. If you think of questions, sort of drop them in about the website, about Star Wars books, about anything.
Anything.
All right. I want
literally anything.
Literally
Sorry, I'm
anything.
sorry.
All right. Let's do technology.
Losing my mind.
Pick a card, any card. What would your sign be if you're a rebel pilot?
Oh. That's a really. Why is that such a hard question?
Well, because you got to think about like what would be an appealing call sign to you? Because you obviously you have the standard structure being like, and not all of them, but like the typical structures we think color number. But obviously that's not all of them. Like you have the Ghost Crew, they have Phoenix.
Yeah.
A number or something, or Phoenix Leader or something like that.
Or just be anything. Like what are you like? What do they call you? You know? Like
I think I mean like Red 5. Like an actual call, like the call sign.
And did you know that there's 12 members of Red Squadron? It goes from Red 1 all the way to Red 12.
I wonder why you know that.
Don't ask me why I know that.
All right. Let's see.
Call sign being we're dead air. I was trying to think. I'm not always a quick thinker.
Yeah, I'm good. Well, I'll base mine off of this. Like one of my favorite call signs that we get in Star Wars is Poe being Black Leader. Like I love that. So I would think like that might be at least like my color designation. I like some of the like people gravitate towards like your red or your gold squadron. Those are some of the classic ones. But I like some of the kind of newer or lesser known ones, like you got your blue squadron that you get show up in Rogue One. I think there's a gray squadron, but I don't know where they are. But something like that. So I don't know. I'd be like, I don't know, black. I don't have a particular number. I don't know, Black 4. Sure. I don't know. I don't have a particular attachment to any certain number.
Well, if you're going with a color, like ideally a one syllable is easier. Because like, you have to say it really fast. I mean, I guess I mean, if you think about like Phoenix, it could be like an animal or something. Starbird. Oh my God, that's mine.
Okay, there you go. Starbird 1. There you go.
We just watched Trials of the Darksaber. Oh, good. It's amazing that anyway. It was an emotion.
All right, Tom telling me Gray Squadron is in the Vader Down comic run. Thank you, Tom. It's good to have him in the chat. He also dropped the name of the weird Attack of the Clones sport that's in the.
Oh, see,
yeah,
I knew someone would know it.
Yeah, so we've got our resident expert here.
Like
he tells me they all died. I didn't pick Gray. There we go. Woo! Dodge that bullet.
Did you read that?
Yeah, I've read all the Vader comics.
You just didn't remember?
Well, I read Vader Down in like 20.
Oh, okay.
It's been a long time.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Spoilers for reading resolutions.
Yes.
That's fine. That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to record.
Pick another category. Creatures. All right, our smallest category here.
Just like this creature. It's awake. Would you like to say hello to the stream? You have to come up here, though.
All right. Choose an animal on our planet to model a Star Wars species after. Which animal did you pick, and what would the species look like?
Oh, well, I just thought of Loth Wolves because I have one right here, but you can't see her because she won't come up here.
Yeah.
Use my little.
But
I know. I thought of it. You're gonna be too lazy. I know you had a long day. I'm sorry. Oh, she's back to where she was. Any animal. That's really fun. It's really fun to like see some kind of creature in Star Wars, and you're like, is that like the why can I never remember the name of the foxes? The crystal foxes.
Crystal critters.
Yes. They're kind of like foxes.
Yeah.
I love them. I'm gonna stop naming things that already exist.
I'm trying to think of animals. Well, both like the real world animals that I like, and then also ones that I don't think have Star Wars.
Yeah, it's hard. Well, two of my favorite animals already have them, and
yeah,
of course, I naturally already talked about
them. Cats obviously exist.
Yeah, but like, I guess there are different ones. Different cat. Like, I was thinking, like you could think of different cats, but like there are different kinds of cats.
Yeah,
like the giant lion things that the Chancellor has.
Oh yeah,
those are called. And then like the little cats,
the Targons.
Yes, of course you know that. You'll just like pull some kind of Star Wars random obscure name out of nothing, and I'm like, where did you get that from? Why was that? That's where you can never remember anything because all that stuff is stuck in your head.
Yeah,
and not what do I need to put on the grocery list.
Yeah.
That looks really weird on camera. The angle of that looked really strange.
Well, here's one that pops to mind. I guess this is more like a class of animals than like one in particular, and it famously showed up on the High Republic planning whiteboard, which is, you know, we don't. I mean, it's probably close. Like by having true blue Star Wars dinosaurs.
Oh man,
there's like large lizards and reptiles that are like vaguely dinosaur-esque.
Yeah. That would be interesting though,
but
to like explore that more.
But yeah, like true blue, like your Jurassic Park capital D dinosaurs.
Why are you laying like that? Oh. See, my mind just keeps going to things that already exist. Like I was like, what about a panther? But like I'm sure something like that exists.
Exactly. It's like we were talking about cats. Like there's a spectrum from like your tabby to like a lion.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a pretty big continuum there.
I do like panthers.
Oh yeah, like a panther.
I had a cat growing up that looked like one. I mean, obviously it's much smaller, but yeah, that's what I'm gonna go for. So we're not sitting here in silence waiting for however many hours.
All right, let's see. We got 2 more categories. We can do them here. We've got characters in the Force. Characters in the Force. You pick.
Let's do the Force.
All right, the Force. Oh my god, long one. Okay. A crime syndicate has taken control of a farming town. You're a Jedi Knight, and you can bring 6 Jedi with you to save the town. Which Jedi, regardless of the time period they belong to, do you choose? Oh my god, that's an involved question. 6 people?
6?
Yeah. We'll do like a combined roster. We each do 3.
Okay.
Let's do that. That makes it a little bit easier. We'd have to you're naming 12 Jedi.
That would be a lot. There might be a lot of overlap too, so we'll build our team together.
Yeah.
Oh, you just flipped over. That's why you were laying like that. Fascinating. But okay, Ahsoka.
All right, you want Ahsoka?
I feel like Ahsoka's been in this situation before, to some degree.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's fairly close. Like, I mean, it's not, but I'm like, it's fairly close to the plot of Ahsoka, the novel.
All right, we got to pick Ahsoka then.
Like, not exactly, obviously. Like, but you know. Okay, so put her down. We can go back and forth here. All right, so you got your first. All right, crime syndicate has come in. All right. I'm gonna put in the negotiator. So I'm gonna put in Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I did think about him.
Because you got to think about like putting in for like different kinds of contingencies of like, sometimes like you want to maybe try good cop, but then you got to be ready for bad cop, anything in between. So I'm gonna go with Obi-Wan and Kenobi. Maybe lead in with the carrot before I got to do the stick.
Well, if you have Obi-Wan, you also then have to have Anakin. They're a very good team, and they both have their own strengths. And if negotiations fail, Anakin's very powerful.
All right. I mean, yeah, we now have the Clone Wars trio there. We got Ahsoka, we got Obi-Wan, and we got Anakin.
All right. Who else?
All right. So then it goes back to me. All right. Okay. So we've got fighters. We've got we've got Obi-Wan. Let's see. Who else do we want?
Trying to think. Like, who else do you need in this situation?
All right, I got one. These are all kind of coming from the same era, so maybe for the last two we can do a little bit more wild card. I'm gonna throw in Quinlan Voss. Like you kind of like someone can pop off, if the heat kind of if the going gets tough, maybe have somebody who's a little bit more of a wild card in there. Like, so throw in Quinlan Voss.
Yeah,
he might screw things up a little bit potentially, especially if you're in the like negotiation stage and you're trying to avoid a conflict, and you've got a very careful back and forth. Like, he might just flip a table and now everyone's shooting. But maybe you need that. Like, maybe it gets to a point where you need that.
Do you need someone then that's like a more calming presence? I feel like Yaddle. I love Yaddle.
Ooh,
can we bring Yaddle into this?
Let's put Yaddle in there. I like that.
I read the book that Lydia King released recently. It's not a Star Wars book, but there's 1000% a Master Yaddle reference in it, and I clocked it, and like, man.
Tom dropped Terra Sadupe.
What? I thought of him too.
That would be a calming presence. He would definitely slow things down by many degrees.
Do we have our 6 at lost count?
We got 5.
Oh.
I think it's back to you.
Oh man. Who are all the Jedi? My God.
So just to recap, we got Ahsoka, we got Obi-Wan, we got Anakin, we got Quinlan Voss, and we got Yaddle.
You know what? Just because I want to see I would want to know what would happen, Rey. I need to know.
That would be fun, and there would also be some really fun interactions when you think about the other folks on the team.
This is why the Lego specials are so much fun, because you mix and match. Yeah,
I like that.
That was a really wild question, but very fun.
Yeah. Let's see, and then we're left with characters, right?
Yeah.
All right. Pick a card, any card. You're a Star Wars matchmaker. Which 2 characters up on a first date?
Everyone knows what I'm going to say.
Hit it anyway.
Let Finpo happen.
Yeah.
Give me Storm Pilot.
Yeah.
Disney's not involved in this, okay? That's what I want.
I like it. Yes, that is a very you pick.
I know.
But I like
me
it.
After all.
I do want to like shout out to Last Order for like you don't confirm it, but you just like you take a little bit out of the spice jar and you just kind of throw it a little bit into the pot.
See? Yeah.
You just get a little bit of like soupçon of Storm Pilot in there.
This is why you let things marinate. And however many years after the fact, you go for it.
Ahsoka embarrasses in the chat. I like that one.
That is a very good one.
That is a good one.
Oh my God. How did I not forget about the other one that I should have mentioned first? Ahsoka Tan.
Ahsoka
Come
Tan.
on.
Yeah, Ahsoka Tan. That's your...
Tragically, I haven't gotten it yet, but never say never.
That is a good one too. Let me think. Do I have some like crack ships in Star Wars? I'm sure I do.
I feel like I thought of a new one fairly recently, but now I can't remember. Oh no, I'm thinking of the Space Fifties episode with Belle and Burry.
Oh my God. Oh jeez. Yeah, that's your crack ship in Star Wars. That's yours. Let me think.
They have a wonderful friendship.
They do.
I'm not knocking it.
Let's see. Oh, come on. I'm as soon as we get off of this, I'm gonna think of my crack ships.
Go from the angle of like which two characters interacting that usually don't would be the most fun to see on a first date.
On a first date. Let's see. Oh, come on. Oh, we're getting dead air again. Talk.
Oh, I think
Tampa Krennic and Edie Carr. There's a crash ship. Oh, that would be a lot of fun.
Oh, a lot of people make jokes about Qui-Gon and Shmi, but like
Shmi-Gon, yeah, Shmi-Gon is 100% canon. I'm a Shmi-Gon truther. Like things happened on those hot Tatooine nights, of whatever ambiguous amount of time that they are on the planet Tatooine. Oh my God, why can I not think of any Star Wars characters right now?
That's how it be sometimes.
I'm literally trying to think of anyone.
High Republic, Sequel Trilogy, obscure characters from a movie. Kalazab!
That's another one that's canon as far as I'm concerned.
If you can't think of one, you can't think of one.
I cannot think of one.
That's all right.
It's bothering me because I'm going to think about it as soon as we turn off the stream.
Yeah. Somehow I'll get you on the Patreon so you can share it with the world.
Yeah.
You have to pay extra.
Oh, to other like yeah.
Or it's not technically paying extra, as they take more out of what you earn, which whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You could technically join for free, but that would be less fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this has been fun.
It has been.
It's been so fun. Friday night. It's a poppin' night to have a stream, I guess.
Yeah. You know, people go into the weekend.
Yeah. I'm exhausted, but that's, you know what? I can't stay up past a certain time in the evening anymore. It's fine. No, this has been really fun. We've been waiting to do this reveal for a long time, and I'm so glad that you like it. And I'm excited to add more things to it and keep you updated on, you know, here's the new stuff we added this week, because that's fun. And all that, but that's probably going to be next year, because somehow it's almost halfway through November.
Yeah.
And I am not ready for that. It's fine. Before we close out, you want to talk a little bit about what everyone can kind of look forward to at the end of the year on the show, because we talked about it a little bit. We talked a little bit about the book awards.
Yes. Yeah. so the boards, obviously, there's to look forward to, and you'll put in more information in terms of the patron picks for the book awards. So we're gonna have that. We're gonna have our 2026 reading resolutions.
So excited
that we're gonna do. I've already got mine, more or less figured out.
Did I complete my resolutions for this year? Unlike last year, one way to find out.
So that's always fun. It's always good to give ourselves little challenges. Have things to look forward to in the coming year. Let's see what else. You got a couple interviews.
We do have some interviews coming soon. Among them, Adam Christopher. That's this Tuesday. Kevin Scott. Just the week after. That's a whole story. About how he's eluded my capture for two attempts before this one. Finally, I was like, dude, we gotta. And it was so fun, as I expected it would be. And then some going way back to some very early Star Wars publishing lore, if you will, for the interview that comes after that. And then, what comes in between that and the end of the year stuff, I don't know yet. Still trying to figure it out. Because what is time? But it's gonna be very exciting. I love the end of the year.
Me too.
For the show. It's always really fun.
Yeah.
But of course, we'll also be recording that stuff a little bit early so that we can actually take a little bit of a break. But you won't know the difference. You'll still get your episodes several days early like you always do. I think my brain is shutting down. I think it's past my bedtime.
It is kind of past your bedtime. We're getting up there.
Great. Awesome. I'm so glad that you came to witness this grand unveiling. And if you're watching later, I'm glad that you came back and watched this later and that you're still here. It's been fun. I'm glad I wanted to do this on a stream because I wanted it to be this special event, not just like here's me dropping a link somewhere. I mean, like, look what we made. We wanted to talk about it. And it was fun that way. And I'm sure we'll talk more about it eventually. There is just a random cord that goes to nothing. Cool. This is not my desk. Yeah, that'll be it for now because I'm also apparently losing the ability to speak. We need to stop. But we're cool for you.
Yes.
As always. It's fun to make things for you. I know that you're a very small audience, but it's very fun to be able to oh, wait, no, do we not want to talk about that yet? The other thing we were talking about doing. The Force Awakens.
Do it. Drop it in. Yeah, again.
Commentary track.
Yes. So this is again another thing that we have been banding about and talked about again as a sort of like patron perk or like what kind of stuff can we make for all of you. And so what we're gonna do in December, we'll release in December because the timing of it is what we wanted to do is we wanted to do commentary tracks for the Star Wars movies.
It's so dumb.
So essentially where like we record essentially the equivalent of like a podcast episode, and then you can just put it on and like you watch it and listen to it in real time with the movie, and then you can hear us kind of talk about the movie as the movie goes.
It's gonna be really fun. And
so we decided we're going to do the first one of these in December, and because in timing for the anniversary, we're going to do the Force Awakens to celebrate sort of the 10th anniversary of the movie. So look for that in December. So we'll basically sit down. We'll have Disney Plus up on our monitor. We'll just watch it beginning to end, and you'll get to hear us kind of just blabber away on our thoughts about the Force Awakens.
And it's also special because it's the first thing we recorded together.
Exactly.
Force Awakens.
Yeah.
That's so sweet. Yeah. So that's another thing to look forward to. I don't know when exactly that's gonna drop yet. Let me get through this upcoming holiday first. It's a lot. It's a lot. Anyway, yeah. We genuinely appreciate you. And I wish we could do more of these streams more often, and I would love to. I'm just trying to figure it out right now. This year has been a lot. It's been good though. And I'm glad that you've been around for so much of the book and podcast stuff. All right. I think we'll sign off for now.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy your weekend. And yeah, stay tuned for announcements, for posts. Keep exploring the website. Again, you have suggestions, you have things you encounter, let us know. And, we'll add, fix, etc. All that good stuff. All right. Good night, people.
Now This Is Lit is part of the Faraway Fandom Network. It is produced by Devor Mondum and written, hosted, and edited by me. Jose Jimenez designed our podcast art. You can keep up with the show on Substack at Now This Is Lit, and find the show wherever you get your podcasts. There are so many ways you can support the show, and all of those ways are linked in the show description. The newest way is to become a member of our Patreon. For $1 a month, you can get access to an exclusive show and a sticker. And if we get 500 people to support the Patreon per month, I can hire an editor. That would be great for me, and maybe for you too. So if you'd like to support the show with just $1 a month, you can do it that way. Or you can just keep listening and sharing the episodes. That is also helpful, and I appreciate it. For more book reviews and Star Wars Book Celebration, follow Star Wars Book Reviews on Instagram and TikTok.